everybody, and welcome back to the weekly review show. Cheers! So welcome back everybody. Before I start, I'd just like to make a little reminder to everybody because I think it's the best time to tell you guys. Recently, I've noticed that the weekly review show hasn't been doing nearly as well as some of my other videos, and it's in my mind at the back of it, and I'd hate to do this, but to possibly decide to discontinue the weekly review show. Look, I love the weekly review show so much, and it makes me so happy to do, and I guess that's the root of why I do it, and at the end of the day, it comes down to what makes me happy rather than the view count. But if you guys have any points of feedback, please let me know in the comment section, because I really want to know how I can improve this series. I know it is a bit dull, but I think it's just a good way to get the word out and help you guys understand what all the numbers actually mean. But again, I do understand it is a little bit boring, so please let me know below what I can do to change for the better. Without further ado, I think we should just get into the video, because I know a lot of you do enjoy this part, so let's get into it right about now. Alright everyone, just have a sip of my drink and then we will start. Make sure to grab one yourself and enjoy yourself today, because we're going to be having a look at the stock exchange first. So we'll always start with the one and only S&P 500, which is an index fund where they will invest into 500 different companies with your money. And it's quite an incredible idea actually. I've been following it for a while and it was the first bit of the share market that I invested in. However, it's been quite interesting today and the past week, to be honest. It's actually gone down very significantly after hours. So at close today, it was at $323 US per share. But then after hours, it's gone down almost 22 points, which is $22. So it's now at 301, which is very confusing and interesting. And there is a reason, I believe, why that is happening. I would recommend following what is going on with this. I will talk about it. Make sure you stay tuned because it's going to be something interesting. Not in today's video though. But over the past week, we've almost seen a bit of a mirror image over the 6-month one. So for those of you who are unsure, this is the 6-month path of S&P 500. They did have a massive crash in March. However, over the past week, they are green, but you can see it's also like the same thing. It's a bit of a crash as well. Obviously not major, but it was down almost 3.5%, which is very significant for this drop here. However, I mean, if we're talking significant drops, it did drop something like, let me see, I can check here, 34% back in March. That is crazy. Imagine if you were someone who had invested in this long term. Obviously it wouldn't make such of a difference, but losing 30% of your money and you had like $1 million invested with them, that's very big. Obviously it did recover quite well. Now we're talking in the 300s again, but still significant. So keep your eye out on S&P 500, but I'm not going to bore you with that. Let's move on to the next one, which is actually a new one, and it is a topic that I'm going to be talking about in a future video as well, I think, because it is a current and important thing that is going on. So I would recommend sticking around to see this video because it will be interesting. It's something that I heard of from another YouTuber who I will comment, well, I won't comment, I will quote right now. Make sure to smash the like button below, everybody. You know, just completely obliterate it. Yes, that's right, it's Graham Stephan. Graham Stephan is an incredible YouTuber, talking about all the different types of investing, bit of a financial real estate dude, millionaire by 26. But, you know, I really, really, really believe in what he's doing, so I'd recommend checking him out. Big shout out there for the, 6 people that'll probably watch this video, but make sure you do that. However, it's talking about how Tesla is being considered for the S&P 500 index fund, and there's lots of different things that it must enable, that must be reached to enable it to join, but that's for another video. The thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that it may actually skyrocket if it is announced that it is being joined in. However, it has plummeted quite a bit today, and over the past month it's been absolutely astronomical. You can see here, this is the Tesla shares over the past month, and you'd expect something like that to be over a very long period of time. But I think roughly, I can't give you an exact percent, but we've seen Tesla go up by 80% in the space of about 2 weeks. which is very significant. So we saw it go from near the $960 per share all the way to $1,759 a share, and then it actually plummeted quite a bit, near sitting at exactly 1,500. But as I can see below, the Tesla of China plummets 18% after Goldman downgrades to sell and expects a 46% downsize on high valuation. So that obviously gives us something to think about. I think it should be something that everybody's having a look at, because the shares have been quite interesting over a very long amount of time since they were introduced. So they were introduced back in early 2010, and they were at $23 a share. So very low. They continued to rise pretty significantly. Like, even if your share went to $200, $300 a share, you've made like a 1,000% return on your investment, nearly. Which is crazy big, and I would definitely, not even that, $200. You've made 1,000% return on your investment, which is excellent. But if you've stuck with it, we've seen it go to $1,500 a share, and you can almost not see the spike. But that's over the last 10 years or so, which is crazy. Like, that's crazy. But it was very low for quite a while. You know, it was going up and down a bit. Not very dangerously, but then we just saw incredible spikes over the past year, really. That's when Tesla started to really shoot up. Yes, definitely in the last year in particular. But very good figures for Tesla over the past year. So that's why I started to have a look at it. And the last one we'll mention is GDX, which is a gold ETF. So it's actually gold miners ETF, not gold ETF. I personally believe that I don't want to get gold ETFs, because I think the whole idea of gold is you can hold it in your hand. That's what we love about it. But the gold ETF called GDX, VanEck Vectors, has actually gone up quite a bit over the past year, and in particular the last week, actually, been quite fluctuative, I think that's a word, from $39 all the way down to $37, moving back up to $38, down a little bit, and eventually sitting at $39.31, which is pretty good. Actually very good for it. But I have had a look over the past 3 months, 6 months of this share, and I think that I would like to settle in to buy when it's around $30, $33 a share, just because that would give me a much better return on the investment. So it is a little bit undervalued at the moment, the mass all-time high being $62 a share. So it is quite below, but given the fluctuation over the past month or two, I see the potential in it going down a little bit before it comes back up, because it is quite directly related to gold. I think that's it for the shares. We'll talk about precious metals now. I don't want to bore you guys too much, but let's go now. I'd just like to take the quick time to let you guys know about all the incredible financial resources available to you in the description of this video, for a very, very good price. These are not my products, but they are things that have helped me so much in my path over the investing world. One of which is this fantastic book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm sure a few of you would have heard of it. By the way, if you're still watching right now, thank you very much. But this book absolutely changed my perspective on investing and the financial world. It talks about it's incredible topics, such as getting money to work for you, very interesting perspectives that I think a lot of you have not actually thought of. So I would recommend picking up a copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad in the description. It is at a very fair price, and it's at no extra cost to you over the regular price of the product. There are lots of other good resources, so I'd recommend checking them all out. That's all for now. Let's get into precious metals. Alright everybody, let's start talking about the precious metals. And boy oh boy, am I happy. Again, if you guys are still watching, thank you so much. You guys, you are the ones that actually care so much. So I appreciate your feedback the most. Please let me know in the description what's kept you watching now, and what can I do to make it better. Otherwise, I don't know, I could just be talking to myself at this point. I could not know. But silver. You may remember, if you watched last week's episode, that silver had been soaring, absolutely soaring. I think last week, and I can check to be precise, so I know how excited to be about it, silver was doing incredibly well. So last time we recorded, silver was at around 27 Australian dollars per ounce, and it actually has not failed to impress us. We've actually seen silver spike up to 28.22 Australian dollars per ounce, which is crazy, so crazy. It's now 27.72 per troy ounce of silver, which is so good for silver. Over the past month, we've just seen absolutely amazing marks. Over the past year, obviously silver does fluctuate quite a bit. We can see it there, and as I've said many times before, one of the biggest reasons I'm into silver is because of this opportunity. That's where we could be. Here's where we are right now. Almost triple the price we're at right now. I'm willing to take those odds. Thank you very much. So that's a really big reason into why I'm in silver. 77 Australian dollars per ounce is not something I'm willing to miss out on. And who knows? We could even be on our way to that glorious number right now. We've actually had a look at the past year and seen that this is actually the third biggest spike in the silver spot price in the last year. We have three significant amounts or spikes over the past year. That one being the biggest, then this one here, and finally the current one. But as we can see from all of them, we have a very similar pattern for the first two, but it's quite different now. The first time we saw it have several small spikes on the way up, come down a little bit, and then keep going. And that's what we saw on the second one as well, except it was more gradual, a lot more spikes on the way. So you can see here it was quite a significant quick one up. This one actually had a bit of room there, I'm talking about that bit, until it spiked. And then we actually saw a massive drop in the price of silver again when the stock market crashed. And silver has made its way up again, having a smaller spike back in May and finally coming to rest where it is right now. However, from what I can tell, I don't think that this is the end of this spike currently. Obviously, I'm no financial expert, but given what I'm seeing on the past bit here, if I can predict it fairly decently, I think that silver is going to reach a bit of a standpoint at 25, 26, I'd say 25 Australian dollars. Obviously not a financial expert, just from what I've studied in the past of it. I've seen it go up and down quite a bit, but I feel like if we can maintain that $25 quite steadily, then I would be really pleased with that. And that's what we've seen. I don't think we've seen silver go anywhere below the very low mark for a very long time. I was so incredibly fortunate to buy silver and gold, my first purchase, at the best possible time. I bought right there. That's right, I bought just about right there when silver spot was under $22 an ounce, and now look where it is. However, that wasn't heaps, it was a few ounces, and I've continued to buy it looking for the slowest amount over spot that I could get, and I've gotten some pretty good bits. However, I'm really happy with how silver's been doing, and I think we've got a good path ahead for silver, or at least that's what I'm predicting. Gold has really just not budged its bum, you know? I'm sorry for the language, but gold has just been pretty still over the past week since we last looked at it. Not heaps of change, you know, it might have been up or down about $15, give or take a bit, but not heaps of action for gold. However, I give you due warning. I am on the market for platinum. I'm looking for that platinum, and I don't know where I can buy some, because I'm obviously a new stacker and I'm looking for fractional stuff. So if anybody can actually shout out, you know, let me know in the description, in the comment section if you're still watching, do you have any idea where I can get some fractional platinum? Because I'd definitely be onto that. Something like a 1/10th ounce piece, 1/20th ounce, or even probably 1/4 or 1/10th ounce. That's what I'd be looking for. But platinum is obviously very undervalued at the moment. Platinum's actually been up at $2,400 per troy ounce, which is very significant, and it's very short-lived. Quite a while ago, you can see it's a very short spike. But then again, we have seen it up quite a bit higher, and I would like to diversify my precious metals portfolio a little bit. I'm just waiting for the time when platinum will meet the gold price. You know, it's $200 give or take between the two, and I'm really excited to see if they do meet, whether it's gold rising up or platinum and coming down to them. Palladium that is. But I'm interested to see what palladium's up to. You know, we've seen palladium at very high prices, and it's very undervalued for its total price at the moment. But I think that's it for the precious metals. I think that's it for everything, and we'll head on to the end of the video right about now. Well, that brings us to the end. Thank you so much if you're still watching. I'm actually not sure if anybody ever watches this far, so if you did watch this far, let me know in the comments. I'm asking for a lot of comments, but I'm really interested. Did you watch this far? Well, obviously, you're hearing what I'm saying right now if you did watch this far, but thank you for watching so much if you're still watching. I know that you really care about your financial well-being and your financial fitness, so I definitely recommend using the stuff below. Honest opinion out of my heart, I think it will help you a lot, so I definitely recommend those stuff in the description. That's all for now, guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for future videos. I'm just here to help. You know, I'm sitting here making these videos just to help. I'm not getting monetized from this. I'm a low YouTuber at the moment. I'm low in the ranks, so I'm primarily and purely doing this to help everybody. So make sure to stick around for some future videos. A good night to you, and until next time, goodbye.